Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast, Stop the Internet Podcast. I'm Kelee.
And I'm Erin.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy 2024.
I can't believe it.
I can't either. 2023 was a whirlwind.
It really was.
I'm back.
She's back. Erin hasn't been here in so long, I feel like.
I haven't been. Like I said, 2023 was a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Went through some craziness recently, but I'm back. Just want to say to our favorite listeners, always check in on your strong friends. People go through a lot in life that you don't know about. So yeah, check in on everyone. Circling back to Kelly and Rebecca's last episode where they were talking about how it's like can be hard to be a good friend when, you know, it's like hard to be present for people. I feel like I am that person. I'm so like busy all the time. I'm not always present for people. And I just want to thank the people that are always present for me.
Wow.
Because I have the best support system in the world. Been through a lot recently and my people know who they are.
Wow. What a good sentiment.
Yeah.
Okay. Today's episode, we're going to do a little bit different format. We're not going to know the questions prior. So we're going to do Ask Women. And obviously, Erin and I, our thoughts and opinions represent all women. So I think we're the perfect candidates for this.
Yes. We also have two very different like takes on things a lot of times.
Yeah.
Someone asked me recently, what's the biggest difference and the biggest similarity between me and my sister? And I said the biggest difference is everything. Like I feel like we are two very different people. I was like, Kelly's very creative. I'm very science-based. Just we come from two very different like mindsets in that way, how we approach life. And then I said our biggest similarity is we're both like girl bossing. Like we are just both so driven. All we want is success. And that's definitely where we are the same.
It's weird because I feel like we're the same. Like we are very different, but at the same time, we're the same. Like we have most of the same friends and like doing a lot of the same activities. And like I feel like we have similar personalities, but then also we don't at the same time.
I know. I was like, how do I say we are two very different people with the same personality?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's weird because when I think about my best friends in the world that are now some of your best friends, I'm very different people with them too. Like my best friend from college, like every time we talk about like dating or friendships or anything, she'll look at me and be like, Erin Bovelle, we are two very different people.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because she's my best friend. But
it is weird because I feel like I do have like, it ranges for me. Like I have a couple people that I would say that we're similar. Like I think Rebecca and I are similar because we're both creative and like Gen Z humor.
But then that's where Rebecca and I are so different. Yeah. But like Pop Off, she's one of my best friends.
Yeah, but she's probably my only like close friend with that sense of humor, and my other best friends are like,
but sense
not
of
really
humor
like that.
Is hard because I feel like we have a very similar sense of humor.
Yeah, it's so. I feel like this episode will be good. It'll like show what we think and where similarities are. It is really weird to think about that though. Like
I know
it's like the little things. No, but you can't even say that. I was gonna say the little things are different, but then like the deep things of life are the same. But that's like not even true. I was gonna say like morals and ethics, I guess, are the same, but then like little things, they could be the same. Like we both like the Eagles and like having fun and like going out. But then like there's so many things that are little things that we differ from. I don't know.
It's so weird. I know. We both like the Eagles and going out.
I was just saying like little things.
Why is that my personality though? Like I'm not even kidding. My therapist recently was like, what do you do for fun? And I was like, I go out and I drink alcohol with my friends. Like what do you mean? What do I do for fun? Anyway, now that we know what I do for fun,
she's in the club.
I'll start with some easy ones.
Okay, let's get into it.
Oh, go ahead. Ladies, what is one thing you did in 2023 that you are super proud of?
I would say for me, it's just putting out 52 episodes of the podcast. Like to do it every single week is so hard. And right now I'm at the point where I'm like so overwhelmed and hopefully going to hire someone to help me. But I am very proud of the fact that I did not skip 1 week. Like every single Thursday of this year and even a few months prior to this year, there was an episode, a full full-length episode of this podcast out on all platforms.
Yeah, that's huge.
How about you? Thank you to the team. Literally could not have done that by myself.
What is something that I'm proud of? This is going to sound so cliche, but something that I'm proud of is my mental health and coming out where I am right now. Yeah, been through a lot, and mental health is not something that people should take lightly. And I'm proud of a lot of things, like got a new job, went back to grad school, but I'm most proud of where I am mentally because I've been through a lot in previous points in my life. This is probably one of the hardest things I've been through. And yeah, I'm just very proud that I'm here. Okay.
Are you going to read all of them? You can if you want.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Because I'm just going to pick out good ones.
But what if our opinions about what's good is different?
Some of these are just lame.
Okay.
At what point would you put your partner before your career?
That's really hard.
I would probably say never.
Yeah, but you say never having not met your soulmate.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not married. So it's
hard though, because when I think about having a partner and a career, I think about a career is not going to walk out on me, a man can. So it's and I know that sounds so petty, but someday I might have to pay my own bills. And if I put a man first before my career and he walks out on me, how am I going to pay the bills?
It's interesting to think about though, what does it mean to put someone first?
Yeah.
I just think that the most important things in life are relationships, the relationships that we have with everyone. Mm-hmm. Because without relationships, everything that you said in the beginning of the episode would be void. None of that would exist, and none of that sentiment would even be in your life unless you valued relationships and put the time and effort into helping them flourish and keeping them alive. So I think that it's a weird question to be would you put your partner in front of or place it before your career? It's in what way?
Yeah.
Because is my partner asking me to quit my job and never work again? Because in that case, no. But is it I go to work and I work my 9 to 5 or whatever the hours are, and then I go home and in my time off, we do things that build the relationship? What does it actually mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, is it if I had to break up with my partner or quit my job, it had to be one of the two, which one would you choose? Maybe then you'd be I have to realistically pick my job just in order to survive.
Life,
yeah, but it's really weird to be would I throw away my career? Would I stop the podcast for a man? No, I don't think so. Because this is how I see it. The person that I'm meant to be with would not make me do that.
So I had to do that. I remember when that happened to me. I talked about this a long time ago on an episode where I was signed up for a dating service and a matchmaker called me and was asking me all kinds of questions. But what we had talked about was that she was asking me about a bruise on my chin when I had gotten filler done. And we were why are you so worried about the superficial things? In the same match that they were trying to do for me, she said, my client really wants to move to Florida. Would you ever move to Florida? And I said, heck yes, I would. I'm a dermatology nurse. When I get my nurse practitioner, there's plenty of skin cancer in Florida.
Sadly,
but there's no shortage of dermatologists in Florida. I said, heck yeah, I would. However,
heck yeah, I would. On the call, heck yeah, I would. However, that's exactly how I said it.
I am in school in a state where I have a license to practice, where I'll have to do my clinicals, so I wouldn't move until I finished school. And the matchmaker said, well, no, you would just move and start over there. And I said, no, I wouldn't. And she said, well, for the right person, would you? And I said, my person wouldn't ask me to do that.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, well, no, it's not that they're asking you. I was like, but you literally just asked me to do it. You just said I would start over down there.
Yeah.
Craziness. But anyway, I said no to that date. That's for damn sure.
No, I completely agree with that. And I feel something that I really want in my soulmate relationship in life is to have this idea of I would give up anything for them, but I would never need to, or I will never need to. I would give it up, but I'll never have to if it's if it's the person I'm meant to be with.
Nor would I ever expect someone else to.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would love for my partner to be I would give up anything for you, but in the relationship that like God has picked for me and like my path that I'm on, I will never need to.
Yes.
That's like how I see things.
Yes. Who do you feel the most safe around in life and why?
Oh God, I feel like we're playing We're Not Really Strangers.
Is that? I've never played that. But that would be a good episode. I think I would say my sister.
Yeah, I think my whole like family and friends, but yeah.
Well, I guess definitely my close-knit circle. But if I had to pick one person, I would probably say my sister.
Thank you. I could say the same because I feel like it's like weird because we grew up always being like so honest and like there for each other, even if it doesn't seem like it on a surface level.
Yeah.
Like I just remember even in high school hearing people be like, oh, my sister stole $20 from me, or like my sibling like did X, Y, or Z, or like hooked up with my ex or whatever. Like that would just never happen. Like I would never steal money from you.
Someone just said that to me. Actually, I just went on a date recently and the guy was a twin. He had a twin brother and he was like, it's so weird to think that like in high school and college, like people would try to twin hop. Like girls would really be like, I want to hook up with the twin after I hooked up with that one. And he's like, I just can't even fathom how people think that that would ever fly. Like me and my brother would never.
Yeah.
And I was like, exactly. Like Kelee and I would never. But then you hear that people are doing it.
I know.
It's like, what?
Like an actual, like, I don't know, someone that like means something to you. Like that's so crazy.
It's crazy.
I remember when I was in high school, I was in mock trial, shout out the gavel. And one of my friends who was like, I think she was a year or two younger than me in the club. She had an older sister who was 2 years older than her, I think. And she said in 5th grade, first of all, it's so sad that people were even doing this in 5th grade, but she made out with a guy that her sister either kissed or liked, literally in 5th grade at summer camp. And she said since then, so at this point she's like a sophomore or a junior in high school, she and her sister did not get along and her sister like hates her, basically. Like deep down, like hates her. Because she made out with a guy, a boy, a child, at summer camp in 5th grade.
I can't imagine.
That's crazy.
I can't imagine, yeah. Like the depths of hating a sibling.
Over a child kiss.
Couldn't be me.
That's crazy.
I don't know. Maybe it could be me if we had done it, but we would have never done it.
I'm so glad I did not have my first makeout in 5th grade too. Like
oh my
5th
God.
grade? That's such a
call me approve.
No, yeah, I know.
I can't.
Crazy.
If your ex best friend called you out of nowhere, what would you do? Would you answer or not?
No, I don't think so.
No, I wouldn't either.
I would send it to voicemail and be like, what the hell? No, I just would. I just have no desire.
Yeah, I just simply don't have time.
Yeah.
I got a busy schedule. You gotta get in the books. Like, don't call me out of nowhere.
Actually, one of my friends from college that I feel like there was just a lot of reasons why our friendship didn't last, but she texted me in the past like 2 years and I forget the point, but then was like, I'd love to get coffee or something sometime if like you're ever around. And I was like, what do I even say to this? Because the answer is like 100% no. Like there's no point in us like hanging out, getting coffee, like catching up. Like we're just not gonna be friends in life. Mm-hmm. And I forget if I said like, I think I might have just been like, oh yeah, I'll let you know, because I guess that's not a lie.
And
it's like, I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll let you know if I ever want to do that. And like, I just think that
I still
like,
don't want to.
Yeah, I remember one of my friends too, like dated this guy for like a pretty short amount of time, only like 4 months. And then he texted her like months after. They had a really, really like positive, amicable breakup. She's like, this is just not it. He was such a nice person. Texted her a few months later and was like, hey, like, hope you're doing well. I'd love to grab coffee and just like chat if you're ever around, like, and you'd want to talk as friends. And knowing this guy, well, I'd actually never even met the guy because they dated for such a short amount of time. But knowing the guy, that's literally probably all he wanted, was just to talk and chat and be like, well, have a good day, and like leave. I just
like
think
someone to get coffee with.
Yeah. I just think that is so pointless. Like to go back to people in your life that like you're not, and I'm not talking like childhood friends that you only get to see like once a year. I'm talking like an ex or an ex-friend that we're literally gonna hang out and then just never talk again.
Yeah.
Like what is the point of that?
Unnecessary.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. What are your favorite parts about traveling?
Oh my God. I think honestly thinking like, or the feeling of being so far away from your normal life. I guess that kind of sounds, that kind of sounds terrible. terrible. Okay, so other than just like having fun, like swimming in the ocean, doing a fun activity, seeing a new part of the world, culture, I just love how like big the world seems when you are traveling. Yeah. Like I've been to Hawaii a couple times, and the last time I went with my parents for 2 weeks. It was last spring.
They went without me.
Well, she was working, career-driven girl boss.
They booked a trip the first week of my new job. They flew out the morning I started my new job.
That is true. Sorry. Would you choose your family trip over your career? The answer is
Someone's got a girl boss, I guess.
I remember I was dealing with like just some like stupid drama at that point, and being in Hawaii, I'm like, wow, this just feels so far away. And like, even I remember in college, I used to really care, and even a couple years after, about posting on Instagram. Like, oh, like, when do you post? What's the caption? Where I can't post this and not have TBT on it. Like some stupid shit like that literally could not matter less. And every time I traveled, I would just be like, oh, literally none of this matters. And it really just helps put into perspective what actually matters and these stupid little things that don't. So that, okay. How about you?
I think mine, like, aside from those things, mine is probably just like the thrill of like seeing new things. Like I don't mean this in a selfish way, but like I'll be standing somewhere looking at something and be like, wow, there are so many people in the world that will never get to see this or experience this. And I'll just like get goosebumps, like seeing or doing something new, or like seeing something that like you can't even fathom is real, like feeling like you're in a storybook. Because it's like we live in a historical city. Like I recently read a book about like medicine and the history of medicine in Philadelphia, and that like put into perspective how important this city is. But then I leave this city and I go to places in Australia that are like cliffs, and I'm like, oh my God, like how is this place real? And then I go to like even more historical places like Rome, and I like see these structures and I'm like, how is this real? Like it's just crazy. It's so crazy. Like you feel like you're in a storybook and just things don't feel real. Circling back to what you said about like the Instagram thing and traveling, like I agree, like it is so pointless. Recently I've had all my social media deleted, and it feels like so like exhilarating to think that like no one knows what's going on in my life. No one cares, but like it's just so nice to like not have to check my phone. I'm doing things on my own terms. I don't think about taking pictures when I go places. Like I just can leave my phone, and it's just so nice to like live life not attached to something.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, like when things are different in 2023, 2024, but when we used to travel like in high school and like we couldn't have our phones because we didn't have cell phone service, it was like, oh my God, a full week without like talking to friends, or like what do we do? It felt so weird. But now if I'm going out of the country for a week, I'm like, shut her down, baby. Like I don't need to talk to anyone.
It's so weird thinking about like social media, and like I rarely, like I have done it, but I rarely go on like a big trip and don't post about it, which is so stupid that is even a thing.
I know.
Like I think about our parents and like any generation before us, every single thing they did in life, nobody knew. And they all lived like very happy lives. And one of my best friends travels more than anyone I know, and she does not post on social media. She's been all over this world, like goes hiking for 10-day hikes alone in the Dolomites, like crazy, and just like meets people, stays in these little huts, like just crazy stuff. You would never know it unless she told you, and she's just fine with that. Like she doesn't have anything to prove, like barely goes on Instagram. That is just inspiring, honestly.
Detach people, unplug, baby, unplug.
I need to learn that lesson like even a bit more. I like kind of still have it in the back of my mind when I do things. I'm like, ooh, post it on like my story, but then I'm like, literally, why?
Delete it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Delete your social media.
I really should. I've been muting people on Instagram, like their stories, because I'm like, I do not need to see every single time. Like this is just such a waste of my time.
Yeah, it's nice not having it.
Yeah, like we went to see the Nutcracker recently, and I'm like, oh, I'll take a picture of like walking to the thing, and then the sign, and then the theater, and I'll post it. And then I just forgot to post it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need to post any of that. Literally none of it matters. Nobody cares.
Exactly. Okay, next travel question. What puts someone on your I will never travel with them list?
Oh, wow. I don't think I have one, but do you want to go first?
I don't know if I have one either. I think just like needy people or like, ooh, okay, this is going to sound really harsh. People that have never travel, because it's like, do I have to like take the reins on this? Like, if you never travel, are you going to be needy when we get on the plane? Like, are you going
to be a burden to me?
Are you going to bother me is the question. I like to think, and I've been told by friends, that I'm a very easy traveler. I get motion sick on planes, so I pop a Dramamine. I'm out before we leave the gate, and I wake up when we land. You don't hear from me, not a peep. Like, I can travel very light. I can book last minute plans. Like, I can do things and I don't care. I'm very, very easy. So I feel like that's what I need in life. But if, you know, think about like the Jersey Shore cast going to Italy and you see like Snooki traveling with her like caravan of stuff. It's like, if I actually had someone like that in life, I don't think I could ever travel with them.
I remember we did an episode and one of the questions is like, am I the asshole for leaving my husband in the TSA line? Because,
exactly.
Wait, yeah, they were in TSA. The girl was in TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
And the guy was like so mad that she did that. And I was like, come on, like you have to be like a little bit for real. Like, I paid for this service that I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You could just as easily get it. Or also, it's really not that hard to stand in the TSA check line. Like, it's not like torturous. You stand in line, you sit on your phone,
right,
or listen to music, or just look around, put your bag on the thing, take your shoes off and go through. So like, it's not that hard.
Yeah. So I guess that's what I'm getting at with being needy. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, sitting on the plane, you're asking for extra drinks. Like, I'm saying that shit's being needy.
Well,
like,
then,
how dare you go through without me? Like, no. Like, we're going to go through it.
Is that someone commented on that video and said, like, as someone with severe anxiety, I need my partner to support me through moments like that. And I was like, God damn, not me being judgmental. Yeah. And then, I don't know.
Okay,
though,
well, that I would say that's probably different. Like, if you know that your partner needs that, so be it. But I think if you knew your partner needed that, you wouldn't be like, all right, bye. You would know that and you would act on it.
Yeah. Totally. So, okay, I could think of probably one thing. On my list, okay, never mind. I don't have a list. I just think I feel like I'm easy and low key. I guess one thing that I would not probably want to travel with people is if they're really, really uptight about where we stay. If it's a vacation where the hotel like doesn't matter. Okay. So, for example, when we were in Italy is about like being out and exploring the city. It's not Rome. I'll use Rome.
Yes.
It's about being out, exploring the city, ruins, ancient history, whatever. It's not about how pretty the hotel is.
Right.
There are some places where it is about how pretty the hotel is. So
when you stay at an all-inclusive in Mexico and you don't leave the resort, that matters.
Exactly.
Yes.
So in places like that, I am fine with getting the shittiest, cheapest house and spending my money in other places.
Yeah.
And same goes for like a ski trip. It could be the ugliest piece of shit house I've ever seen. I'm not going to be there, you know? So I wouldn't want to travel with people that are like, we need the most luxury 5-star ski resort. I would love to stay there, but currently I might not have the funds for that, so I don't think I could handle spending my money in that way right now. I would love to at some point.
Yeah, fair.
I have a question for you. Do you ever feel that you can't focus while working or doing common daily tasks?
Yes.
Well, I do too. And I have the solution. Cue Magic Mind. Magic Mind is a productivity shot that you drink in the morning, either along with or instead of your daily caffeine. And it helps you be more productive and it helps your mind work better.
I need it.
You just like feel a little like kick once it hits in and you're like, wow, I'm like steady right now.
Yes, I need that.
Yeah, you should try it. I have some in the fridge.
Okay.
Feel free to pop a few.
Throw it back.
Yep.
Okay. Done. Say less.
It helps me to drink less coffee because it has better benefits, I've found, than just drinking like straight up coffee. Helps me focus, stay on task, stay in the zone during my work days especially. It has all natural ingredients that work together to help your brain work better and just power through. Ingredients include matcha, which contains less caffeine than coffee, so it doesn't make you like jittery and like having a heart attack. Bacopa Monnieri, it's a nootropic that improves your attention span. Ashwagandha reduces stress and anxiety. So just all of these amazing ingredients that just help your brain.
Go off, Magic Mind.
I signed up for the subscription. I really like like that so that I can just have it every day of the week. And the more you take it, the more long-lasting benefits you'll have. So the subscription's a great option. Lucky for all of us, Magic Mind currently has an amazing offer that's like even better than it was before. So you can use our code STOP20 at magicmind.com/JanStop. That's JANSTOP for 20% off a one-time purchase or 56% off a subscription. If you are interested in the subscription, Magic Mind is currently offering 1 month free when you're subscribing for 3 months if you use the link magicmind.com/JanStop, JANSTOP, and use the code STOP20. So you can just double on the discounts. So you get a free month if you use the link and the code. That's wonderful. And I think
magic.
It's magic. So once again, if you're interested in trying it, you can click the link in our bio and use our code STOP20 to just double on the discounts, baby. Start your new year off right with productivity.
Your new year off with a discount.
Facts. Thank you, Magic Mind, for sponsoring our
Thank you,
episode.
Magic Mind. Do you wear makeup on a typical day? Why or why not?
No, because I work from home and don't see people, and I spend so much time getting rid of terrible acne that I don't want to cover it up. But I do wear a little bit of makeup when I record.
I don't.
Yeah.
I simply don't. I'm not a makeup person. I wear it when I go out or like if I'm, for a big event or something. But on a typical day, no, I don't have makeup on right now. I mean, I have a spray tan on that I have to rinse off, so I probably look a little funky. But on a typical day, I do not wear makeup. I probably wear makeup like once every other week or every third week.
I see videos about girls being like, oh, here's how to like conquer your day. It's like, get up, drink a glass of water. It's all these things that I really agree with. I'm like, yeah, that's a great habit.
Yeah.
Read for 5 minutes, journal, say a gratitude thing. And they're like, just put on makeup, put on mascara, fill in your eyebrows, put on concealer. If you look good, you will feel good. I could not agree less with that if you work from home. Like, why would it matter? You're not looking at yourself.
Yeah, no one's looking at you.
Yeah, you literally are staring at your computer for 8 hours. Why does it matter if you have mascara on? I think that's a waste of time, money, and like skincare, honestly, because makeup isn't good for your skin. So why are you gonna like put anything on it if you don't have to?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel
Someone
that.
might tell me the reason why, but I just think that wearing makeup within your own home is the most pointless
I mean,
thing.
I see patients all day. I do see a lot of people throughout the day that look at me that I could probably wear makeup for.
Yeah.
But I just don't. It's not even that I don't care. I just don't like the act of putting on makeup, having to wash it off. Like,
and it like
too much.
A lot of times like feels heavy on your skin.
Yeah, like I don't.
I say as I'm wearing a little bit of makeup.
This is kind of funny, but I saw a patient recently who was like asleep in bed and the caretaker was there, and I went in, and it's like that time of year where like everyone's sick. So I was wearing an N95 mask that like covers most of my face, and I think I had my glasses on and my hair was in like a tight bun with like a headband. You really couldn't see what I looked like. And I walked in and the caretaker was like, oh, like so and so, can you wake up? Like, look how pretty your nurse is today. And I was like, wow.
What? My eyes.
I'm so pretty.
Wow.
Wow, so pretty. I'm like, you don't even know what I look like, but that was so kind of you. And now I know I don't have to wear makeup to work.
That's funny. I always think about wearing makeup to work. I am a wedding photographer, and I used to not wear any makeup at all, except my eyebrows. I really feel like I look put together if I fill in my eyebrows. But then I've heard like from other people I work with that they think that people take them more seriously when they wear makeup. Mm-hmm. And I hate that sentiment. I do sometimes wear it, like it really depends, but I hate that sentiment that you're taken more seriously if you have a full face of makeup on.
Yeah.
Because a man doesn't have to wear makeup.
I know, it's rude.
So if I'm wearing a professional outfit, my hair is like put together, like it's not, I didn't just roll out of bed, my face is clean.
Yeah.
Why am I different if I'm wearing makeup versus not wearing makeup?
I don't know.
It's
Someone
so
tell
annoying.
us. Someone tell us.
It's very annoying.
Okay. If you found out the world was ending in 7 months, what are you doing? Hold on. 7 months is very specific. Not like 6 months, like half a year. Like 7 months. Go.
Does everyone else also know it's ending?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay. This is kind of terrible, but part of me feels like, so if the world ends, does that mean that everyone on Earth dies?
I literally don't know what the world ending means.
Okay.
Like, do we all just disappear into a black hole?
I remember seeing this movie when I was in like 7th grade. I think it was called The Knowing, and it was about the world ending. And like the last scene is like the family hugging as like the fire explodes the house and they all die. Part of me is like, okay, 7 months is kind of a long time. Like you can get a lot done in 7 months.
Yeah. We could spend a month on each continent and then still have a little time.
Well, yeah, if you had money to do it, you know? Also, if...
Well, yeah, but just put it on a credit card, baby. The world's ending.
I also think, though, if everyone on Earth knew the world was ending, you wouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah.
So does everyone know, or am I the only person that knows? If I'm the only person that knows and I have 7 months, sure, yeah, I would do all of the stuff.
All of the stuff.
I'd go to
What
Bora
would
Bora.
you do?
I'd travel the world. I'd go to Bora Bora. I would throw this podcast in the trash. I would delete my social media. You would never hear from me again. So if we disappear without warning, the world might be ending in 7 months. Anyway, yes, I would go to all the places. I would go snowboarding. I would try to go surfing in like cool places, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Maybe commit a bank robbery.
Yeah. Well,
something illegal just to like get that high. I don't know.
If everyone knew and the world was ending in like a week or maybe even 2 weeks, I don't think I would do anything, because maybe this is like a morbid, like backwards thought. But if everyone's going to die anyway, what is really the point of living life to the fullest? Wait, this really sounds backwards. But like if me and my like core level homies are all going to die in like 7 days, like why don't we all just like sit around and like hug each other?
And like we're not really strangers.
Yeah, like I don't need to like go to Bora Bora if I'm going to die in 7 days anyway. Like
maybe I would take my core level homies to Bora Bora.
But it would take 24 hours to get there.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to like get there, and like it sounds really cool. If I could snap my fingers and be in the Four Seasons bungalow, sure. But like to go through TSA, which we've already stated is the worst thing on Earth, and then to get there.
You literally just said
It's called a joke. It's called a recall of a joke that I said earlier. Anyway,
go through TSA.
And then when you get off the plane, think about getting your bag. Think about going to the transportation, looking for the transportation, getting to the hotel. There's just so many steps that I'm like, is this really what matters? I would do that if I had endless time, you know? If I had 7 days to live, like, I don't think it's really worth it to do anything. Is that horrible? I don't know. Like, if I'm going to die, either you die and you go into nothingness and consciousness ceases when you die, or I go to the next thing, which is either like reincarnation, or like heaven.
Isn't an incarnation a flower?
No, I think just a carnation. So then I go to like God and eternal life, maybe. So if that is true, why would I have to go to Bora Bora now? That sounds better. Heaven, that's better than Bora Bora. Okay, Bora Bora is in heaven, basically. And then if that's not true and it's just like reincarnation, even more of a reason to not live your life to the fullest, because I can just do it next time.
True.
So there's so many different possibilities. I live my life. I try to live my life to the fullest currently. But yeah, if I knew the world was ending, I don't know. That's how I feel. Okay, what would you do after hearing my take?
Yeah, I'd probably try to see some of the world, because who knows? I don't know. Can we just circle back to the fact that the question was, if you knew the world was ending in 7 months, what would you do? And your base answer was, I would do all of the things.
For 7 months, I would do it all.
Things.
I would swim with whale sharks.
I would probably travel.
Yeah.
Travel. If it was like a basic, 7 month thing.
But only if no one else knew.
Yeah.
If everyone on Earth knew that it was ending, the world would be chaos, and I wouldn't feel the need to do. I would be like, this isn't worth it.
Do you remember in 2012 when everyone thought the world was ending on that one specific day? Isn't that when the world was
just
supposed to
2012, not 2020?
I'm going through a lot. In 2012, what did I say wrong?
You said 2012. It's just 2012. Oh. It's like when people say like 08, 09, 015. Like you just can just say 50. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares?
I have a friend. I'm sorry. I'm calling her out right now. She has like babies in her life that are less than 1 year old, and she'll say they're 9 months years old.
9 months years old. That's hilarious.
She'll be like, oh, the baby turned 9 months years old today.
That's so funny.
So I'm sorry I said 2012. Anyway, wasn't the world supposed to end in 2012
Yeah, I remember. It was supposed to be the rapture.
People stayed home from school.
Wait, are we talking? Oh, I'm talking about the rapture. Do you remember the rapture?
Didn't people stay home from school for that?
We didn't have school that day because I remember me and my friend walked to a park, and right at the time that the rapture was supposed to happen, it did get cloudy. like a rain cloud.
Did you get scared?
I was kind of like, wow, this is actually weird. It was probably sophomore year of high school, and I was at the local park on the playground sitting on like a picnic table, and we were waiting for the rapture. And then it did get cloudy, but then it didn't even rain. It just went back to being sunny, which is kind of weird actually. But then on the radio,
maybe the rapture happened somewhere else.
No, on the radio, when they were leading up to like the rapture, you have to like be a good person, and the Lord will come and like decide if you're a good person or not.
What is a rapture?
I don't know, but I think it was like basically during the rapture. I survived the rapture 2011. I don't know.
No, 2012.
I think it was different. You're talking about the Mayan calendar. I'm talking about the rapture.
Okay, sorry.
Gatekeep girl boss rapture. Anyway, I think it was like the Lord returns and like decides whether you're a good person or not, and whether you get to come to eternal life. And some people would be chosen, some people wouldn't, whatever. So then it didn't happen. But
did you think sitting on a picnic table in the park, the Lord was going to pick you, yes or no?
I hoped for the best.
Okay.
So after nothing happened, obviously, on the radio, all the people that were talking about like the rapture's gonna happen, they were like, well, we weren't wrong, because one of three things happened. Nobody was picked because nobody was good enough. It's like, of course that's a reason why.
Well,
second is it did happen, and we just don't even know it, and we've all been elevated to like a higher self, and we don't even know it.
Oh shit.
And then the third, I think those are the only two options actually.
Oh.
I'm like, wow, what a great answer.
So it did happen.
Oh, none of us were good enough, so you were still right about your future prediction. It's just really, really convenient that when a psychic is wrong about a world event, it's like, oh, well, none of us were good enough for it to happen, or it did happen.
No, there's
we
no
just don't
shot.
Even know it.
There's no shot that we all were picked, because there's some pretty crappy people out there. And I'm not in the same category as them.
I think the rapture was all big conspiracy to gain clout.
For who?
For psychics and like radio talk show hosts.
Well, anyway, whatever I'm thinking of what was supposed to happen in 2012. I remember we had a party for it at my friend's house. Nothing happened, but I do remember people talking about staying home from school. Like specifically, I remember this one girl that we were like school friends with, and I remember her talking about staying home and me going home and being like, Mom, like other people are staying home on the day the world's supposed to end. And she was like, you're going to school.
What day of the week was it?
I don't remember.
Whatever. Okay, let's move on.
Anyway, what is the hottest sport someone can play?
Like muscle-wise, soccer, or no, not.
What?
Tall, lean muscle.
Hockey.
Okay, hockey is cool though because of like clout.
No, I'm not talking about the clout. Hockey is just lit.
Okay. I mean, I would say that about like snowboarding. I agree with hockey. Like that is a really cool sport to play, but like physicality of like the players.
Hockey.
I think soccer. You can't even see the players in hockey.
You see them afterwards. Wink, wink. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
Okay, that reminds me of a question my friends just discussed recently. What is the hottest instrument someone can play?
Well, I really think that if you're insanely good at something, it could be anything. It could be the flute. If they were like a killer flute player and like the best flute player in the world, I'd be like, okay. Honestly, I kind of feel like the build of a soccer player playing piano.
Okay. I can't remember. I feel like they said it was something like the clarinet or something. I can't remember what my friends decided on. Or the trumpet, trombone.
Saxophone's cool.
Saxophone, that's what they decided on.
Yeah.
That's what they decided on. I don't even think I know what a saxophone is.
Yes, you do.
Okay, anyway.
Come on. A saxophone?
Yeah, it looks like an oboe, kind of.
I don't know what an oboe is. Saxophone is a very, very common instrument.
Anyway, I personally just don't... Oh, this is going to sound so bad. Nothing about, like, a musician is super hot to me.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to sing to me, I'm probably going to get the ick.
You're not cultured.
I'm not. I'm not a fan of the arts, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess I can appreciate. I mean, I appreciate what music has, what musicians have given us in life. I fully thank you all for everything you've done. Just maybe not my husband, you know.
I think actually, not that this is an instrument, but musicality wise, a singer, aka a performer, like I've just been to so many concerts in my life, and the lead singer doesn't have to be attractive at all, but seeing how they perform and like confidence on stage, like perform, like they're dancing. Like when I was in college, I saw Bastille, which is like this little indie band, I feel like. Well, maybe they're not little. I don't know.
Big.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, when I saw them, they only had like a few #1 hits.
Okay.
This guy, Bastille Dan, the lead singer, his name's Dan. I was like, this is the hottest man I've ever seen because of the way that he like danced and his confidence on stage. And then after every single song, he'd be like, oh my God, thank you so much. I can't believe it. Thank you. Like he was just so cool that he became hot to me.
Okay.
I don't know what his face looks like, but I'm like, he's hot.
That's fair.
Just because of the way he carries himself on stage.
I can get behind that. I think when I think of like the instrument, and like in a relationship, I imagine incorrectly. Like I think what you're thinking is like the correct answer to this conversation. I incorrectly picture someone like sitting in my living room being like, baby, I'm gonna play you a song.
Yeah.
And like, please don't.
But what if it was like your favorite singer? Like, or who's a male singer that you like? Luke Bryan?
Sure.
What if he was like, can I play a song for you? It's about my blue jeans and my truck.
I just don't think someone being like,
please, little tan leg Juliet.
I don't think someone serenading me is what's gonna get me going. I don't know.
What if he called you his tan leg Juliet in the backseat of his pickup truck?
I'm already tingling thinking about it. Speaking of, what activities or experiences are better than sex? Oh my God, come on, there's so many. You know what, I thought of this because I had a patient say this to me, but it's so true. His was like specifically because of a health thing, but like picture like you've had a cold for 3 days and you can't blow your nose. You finally blow your nose and you just get like, you can breathe so clearly and you're like,
I think snowboarding, not how it looks, but how it feels. It's so funny to think about how like cool I feel at my like very, very beginner level of skill. I'm talking like picture someone that went snowboarding like 3 times. That's my skill level.
Oh my God.
But how it feels so good. And then my friend will take like a picture or video of me and I look so awkward as if I've never played a sport in my life. But it feels like you're like an Olympic level athlete going down that green bunny hill.
Yeah. I think mine's just like simple pleasures. Like I said, like blowing my nose and you get that relief and you're like, hell yeah, tan like Juliet.
Wow. Can we add that to the vernacular? No, Luke Bryan definitely has a song where he says that because there's this like 2-girl country duo. I don't even know if they like became successful, but they had a song called Girl in a Country Song.
Yes, yeah.
And they literally go, I'm not your tan leg Juliet.
I don't know that it was definitely Luke Bryan.
No, I think he has a song that actually says the words tan leg Juliet.
I know it's in a song, but I'm not positive that it's Luke Bryan.
Oh, so sorry. Jason Aldean.
Yeah, okay. I knew it was him. I do like country music.
Yeah. He said, you can be my tan leg Juliet.
I'll be your redneck Romeo.
Okay, that song kind of slaps, actually.
That is a good
Is that the one that goes, kick it for the dirt, something
no,
down in the honky tonk? Oh, okay.
That's
they all
Luke
sound
Bryan.
the same.
They don't, but...
Oh, baby, you can find me in the back of a jacked up tailgate sitting round.
That song slaps. That's like a hype song for country music. Anyway.
Yeah, there are some country songs that slap. I can't lie.
Like Girl in a Country
song. Yeah,
like
Girl in a Country Song.
Okay. How do you brush off gossiping coworkers?
Damn. I quit.
Oh, I simply don't. I say it to their face. Because I feel like people who gossip, it's because they can't say it to your face, and so they don't expect you to call them out. And I'm here to call someone out. I said that recently to one of my coworkers. She was like, "Oh, so and so is just like terrible," and I was like, "Yeah, it's only a matter of time until I say it to their face." And she was like, "Oh my God, you think?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I can't."
I didn't experience gossip. I think that I knew about, but at my first job, which was also where my internship was, I was not full-time, so it was an office job though, but like it was really just non-traditional how I like continued working there after my internship ended. So anyway, so I sat in like this area with like all these other women who were all so nice, like at face value, but then they all became close friends and I was just not included in that close friendship. And they would make plans blatantly like right in front of me and just not acknowledge me at all.
Ew.
It was so annoying and just like upsetting. And they would all be like, oh guys, like for pizza night tonight, let's do like X, Y, and Z. And then at 5 o'clock when everyone would be leaving, they'd be like, bye, see you in an hour, bye Kelee. It was just so like, I don't know why. Like you would not expect it, I feel like, from these people if you just met them.
I worked with people just like that, and it's the same thing. Like they include you in shit at work and then you think that they're great, and then they do shit like that.
Sometimes even at work, it was like, I remember there was this one time, it was a company where you could bring your dog to work. So one of the girls in my pod had a dog, and like it was just something where one of the girls was trying on clothes and like all the girls went to go watch her try it on, and then one of the girls came back to the pod and the only people in the pod were me and the dog, and she was like, oh my God, dog's name, you need to come with us.
Oh my God.
Grabbed the dog to go to like the clothing try on area, and I was sitting in the pod. I was like, you're a bitch. Like, I do not like, I just lost all respect for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I ended up not working there for a long time. It's like, I feel like though I give people the benefit of a doubt, like to a fault, because actually, no, there was a handful of them that if I still saw them, I would actually enjoy seeing them. They weren't like the worst, but there was a couple that I'm like, I would still be nice to you if I saw you, but like you were that thing that girl did, like that's so mean.
Ew, yeah.
I just like, and then I did see her actually one time after I worked there, and I was like, oh my God, hey, how are you? And then like 2 minutes later after she walked away, I was like, wait a second, that was the girl that did that dog thing to me.
I would have been like, oh my God, hey, how are you? And like brushed right past her and like picked up a dog, like, how are you, dog?
Oh, it wasn't her dog. It was a different girl's
I know.
dog.
I'm saying I would have been like, pretend I was saying hi to her, but I was actually saying hi to the dog behind her.
I forgot that it happened, and I was and then I was like, oh wait. Anyway, whatever.
Anyway, this one's funny because it's Ask Women. If you were interested in someone that thought you were handsome, how would you feel?
Handsome? No, I feel like that's a compliment because some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen kind of look like a man.
Oh, okay.
And like the cross between like a man, when a man and a woman, or no, it's like when a woman has male features or when a man has like female features. I mean like long eyelashes or like, I don't know what another one would be.
I guess I don't hate the idea of me being handsome, but I personally would not go for a man who was pretty.
Why?
Because how dare you be prettier than me? You're a man. I want like a man.
I guess.
Anyway.
I don't know. I've just like seen people, this might come off as like insensitive, but like I've seen people that I'm like, that could be like this human. They would be like a really hot girl or like a really pretty boy. Like they could be either one.
Right.
And I'm like, that is like the most beautiful person. So if someone saw me and thought that, I'd be like, okay, let's go. I don't know.
What must you know about the person you're dating before things get serious?
So much.
Okay.
Almost
all
everything.
Of the things.
Yeah, almost everything.
Okay, let's say you had a gratitude.
Wait, are you not going to answer that one?
What would be some of my biggest ones? I would have to know how serious you take your career, what you want in life, like kids or family wise,
like goals,
where you want to live in life. Like if you're like, we got to up and move to Canada, I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of cold in Canada. Like things like that. Like bigger life things.
Yeah,
okay.
Me too. That's what I mean too.
Let's say you had a gratitude journal for this year. Who would you write about in that journal?
The podcast hosts, my best friend, I'm not going to say her name, my family, I guess.
Yeah.
Just almost everyone.
My podcast listeners.
Yes, the listeners. I could go on and on.
Yeah, it would be a long journal for me for sure. But at the top would definitely be the people who have got me through some pretty tough times this year. And you know who you are, people. What do you think about prenups?
I'm a hypocrite. If I have millions of dollars, we're getting a prenup. If he has millions of dollars, we're not getting a prenup.
I co-sign that answer.
Wait. To not be a hypocrite, I will say that if I was marrying someone that also had like millions of dollars or just like insane amounts of like wealth or like celebrity or something like that, I wouldn't necessarily say no to a prenup, but I would say no to a prenup where I don't don't benefit like literally at all, because you sacrifice things like in a relationship. And so if I'm sacrificing anything to be with you,
yeah,
I need to be compensated for that if we get divorced.
So I feel that in the sense of like, let's say down the road I decide to have a kid with you and like it just makes sense for me to be a stay-at-home person. No prenup, because I need to be able to pay my bills when you walk out on me.
Yeah.
Like I said, my career's not going to walk out on me.
I have so many thoughts on that. I actually wrote a whole episode based on something we talked about like 10 months ago probably. And it's just like debates about like prenups and everything like that. I totally agree. If a woman is giving up her career for 15 years to be a stay-at-home mom, she needs to get maybe even more than 50% in a divorce, because it's going to be way harder for her to go back into the workforce
and get another career,
and get a high-paying job, whereas the man's been working the whole time. He can easily recover from losing those assets.
Yes.
That's my opinion. I have so much to say.
I feel that.
And that's true even if the woman is the breadwinner and the man's the stay-at-home. But a man in our world would have an easier time jumping back into a career than a woman would.
Facts. How old were you when you stopped shopping in the junior section at stores and began shopping in the women's section?
I haven't made it there yet.
Really?
I shop in both.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not buying like juvenile things, but like there's definitely like certain things in the junior section that fit me well or that are just cute. So I'll let you know when I get there.
In a romantic relationship, what is the difference between giving your partner the benefit of the doubt or being naive?
Oh, it's so nuanced, I think.
I know.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Because here's what I think. Like, trust, obviously you need to trust your partner, but trust isn't just given. You have to earn it.
See, I'm the opposite.
You just give trust.
I am horrible. I really am a trusting person, and I trust people until they give me a reason not to trust them.
Yeah, you need to, we all need to not do that. And one of the things that annoys me about certain Reddit stories or like dating stories or just anything is when you meet a new person and you're in a relationship for like 2 weeks, and then the guy,
2 weeks,
even 2 months, even 1 month, like whatever, a short amount of time. And the guy's like, come on, don't you trust me? No, of course I don't trust you. And you shouldn't trust me. I don't know you. Why would I trust you? And then another thing is like, it takes certain things to gain trust. Like, you should never just trust anyone like straight out of the gate. But there are things that people can do to earn trust. So I think that's when like those situations come where it's like, oh, is my partner cheating on me? Like, I wanted him to do like something to show me that he's not cheating on me. It's like, okay, if you started dating a guy and they had a girl best friend, and they're like, oh, she's just a friend, we've never kissed, I don't like her at all, but you can't meet her and she can't know about you. And it's like, oh, that's shady.
Yeah.
So then the guy would probably be quick to be like, you need to trust me. Like, you trust me? It's like, no, because you haven't done anything to show me that I can trust you. The action that would form trust would be me meeting the girl and getting to know her, all of us like hanging out, you telling me about her and like going from there. That would gain trust. But no, I don't just trust you out the gate. I don't fucking know you. That's my example. So no. Wait, so what was the question? Naivety or benefit of the doubt? I would give someone the benefit of the doubt if time and time again over the course of like months or years they showed me through actions why I can trust them.
Okay. If
the actions weren't completed, then I think just trusting people outright is naivety. Am I saying that word right? Is nativity.
Yeah. Nativity. Mary Chrysler. Oh shit, this is actually a question that I need people to answer for me. Indecisive ladies, how do you become decisive, and what strategies have you used to overcome this mindset?
Are we going to be the best at answering this? Well, do you want to give your little background? Why did you say
I am the most indecisive person on earth? Everyone in my life will be like, all right, Erin, we're working on this. You choose between these two things. We're going to narrow it down for you. I don't want you to narrow it down for me. I want you to choose for me. I can't make decisions. Like, we'll be driving in the car and I'll be like, oh, which side of the parking lot should I turn into? And Kelee will be like, it doesn't matter. And I'll be like, yes, it does. Tell me where to turn.
Yeah.
I can't answer this question. I simply can't.
Indecisiveness is hard, but I feel like just doing things that you just have to do it. Like, you just have to start picking things. And it can be hard, especially in social situations where like someone asks a question and then everyone looks around and they're like, I don't know. I'm trying to be the person that just like makes the decision and says, would everyone be okay with this? And like, whatever, because I think that saves time. But that also can come off as like rude sometimes, which I fear. But at the same time, it's like if the waitress asks us a question about the group and nobody answers and we're all standing there like, and no one wants to talk because they don't want to come off as like rude or like controlling, that's not helping anyone. So it's actually more helpful to just be like, oh, this. And I think you just have to do it. And then one other thing I've heard is just take out decisions in your life and you will save more time. So I basically eat the exact same food almost every single day for breakfast and lunch. And I never have to think about it. Like I don't spend 10 minutes every day being like, well, what should I put in my smoothie today? Or like, what sandwich should I eat? It's like, I don't think about it. I just go downstairs and just do it. So just alleviating making decisions by creating routine can be helpful. I don't know if that helps indecisiveness, but it helps alleviate situations where you have to be indecisive or where you could be indecisive.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks for teaching me. If anyone has any tips, send them my way. Here's a question. Why do you get random bruises on your legs? I would love to know because I have so many right now.
I think it has to do with like demons in the night or something, right?
No, maybe.
Like a ghost like punched you or something. I don't know.
Oh my God. I went to tour the Eastern State Penitentiary recently and I thought for sure I would see a ghost and I didn't. But I went to dinner afterwards and have you ever like drank a beer and set it on the table and it just like slides, like it just like floats?
Yeah.
That kept happening and I was like, bruh, the ghost literally followed me to dinner. Physics, baby. I was never good at that.
No, the glass moving on the table is normal actually.
No, that's ghosts.
No. Well, maybe.
What do you think is the sexiest thing about you?
My girl boss tendencies.
What made
sexy? I don't know.
What made you feel relieved after breaking up with someone?
Not having to deal with them, not having to deal with all their crazy like thoughts and ideas. And I don't mean crazy in the sense of like mentally ill. I mean like it's getting to the point that you are stupid. Like you are actually dumb. And you cannot be convinced to like gain knowledge about the world.
I co-sign what you said. What's your favorite music show that you've been to?
Concert?
Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour?
Yeah, Taylor Swift. I've seen so many concerts though, and there are so many incredible artists that are so good live that even if they're not, like Taylor Swift is just my favorite, but there are also people that are absolutely incredible. Even if you don't like their music, like Ed Sheeran, his music is not my favorite, but he is incredible live. We saw Justin Bieber at Jingle Ball short amount of time. He's so talented. And then he canceled his Justice tour, and that is so sad. Fleetwood Mac, amazing. Just so many. Elton John, amazing. So many people.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Elton John. Legend.
Bastille, amazing. Post Malone. I saw Post Malone over the summer. I thought he was he was so amazing. I was convinced that he was lip syncing the entire time. And then there was one song that he like broke down. He did it like acoustically and you could like hear him like, and you could hear like the pop of like the P's. And that is how I knew he wasn't lip syncing. But yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to say something. I actually don't know a single song by Post Malone off the top of my head, so I
didn't for a while, and then I started listening to him, and I think his music is so good.
Okay.
Wow by Post Malone.
I'll give it a listen. Who was the last single woman that you couldn't believe was single, and what was she like?
Erin Bovelle. Hot, sexy, cool, talented, smart, driven, girl boss.
You know, it sounded a little sarcastic. Oh, man. What do you say when you meet a famous person?
Oh, my God. I had such an awkward encounter. I've never actually met someone that's like wildly famous, like Taylor Swift or Kim Kardashian. But I was going to a concert for this DJ. His name's Griffin in June. And we walked like from the back of the venue right before it started. And we see this like Sprinter van pull up and people start getting out of the back and like getting cases and stuff. And then I just see that it's Griffin and I see his wife because I followed him on Instagram. So I knew what his wife looked like. And he's like walking up the stairs. There's like 5 or 6 of us. And I see Griffin and I'm like, I feel like I have to say something. I was so awkward. I literally go, oh, Griffin, hi. And he goes, hey guys. Like, and he was like kind of holding his bag and he just like was smiling, and his wife was like kind of just like smiling and like saying hi. And then it was like this awkward moment where like most normal people would have asked for a photo. Mm-hmm. And so Griffin was like, do I walk now? Like, and we were, and nobody else in my party like said anything. And I was like, have a good show. And we just like walked away. It was so like afterwards I was like, wait, that was so awkward. And then we walk around the fence to the other side, hundreds of people waiting in line to go inside that probably would have been like dying to meet him. And we just saw him and I was like, I did not know what to say.
You had another experience like that years ago too with a smaller person that you were a fan of.
Yes,
like the exact
in high school.
thing.
Yeah, he's like not even a singer anymore, but I saw this guy, like I was going, it was like my favorite singer at the time, really small venue, and my dad dropped me off and my friends, and as we're walking in, he walks out of the other door like to get onto a bus, and I just like make awkward eye contact with him, and I was like and he was like, hi. And I was like, oh my God, can I hug you? And then we like talked a little bit and then he left. It was just like so
you
awkward.
were in his music video.
Yes.
Someone filmed that interaction.
Yeah. There was like, they were making like a tour video or something. I don't know. But I just like don't know what to say. Like the thought of meeting celebrities is so awkward. Like what am I supposed to say to you?
Yeah. We met someone from the Jersey Shore out one time and we were all like, what do we say? And it was not our favorite cast member.
Yeah.
And one of our friends was like, I know you're trying to keep it low key, but just wanted to say I love you. And she was like, thanks. And everyone was like, and that's why we didn't say anything.
Yeah. I went into, well, I don't want to say where it is to like air him out, but I went into like a really luxury hotel bar a few weeks ago with Rebecca. We walk in and the first thing we see is probably like 10 people taking a selfie.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them had their hand up and they didn't like look related. Like they all were dressed different. They just all looked different. And I said to Rebecca, I was like, is this a family photo or is that a celebrity? And then they all put their phones on. They were like, oh, cool, cool, cool. Walk away. And this man like walks towards the door. And I was like, is that a famous person? And he was like, yeah. That's Deshaun Jackson. It's his birthday party. And we were like, oh, wow. So then I was like staring at him because it's just like interesting to see how like famous people live their, like he's just normal. Like his mom was there and he had just retired as an Eagle like the day before.
Oh, okay.
So this was like, I guess, a birthday party / like celebration. And like he just looked so normal, but he was dressed like so cool. Like he had this like luxury brand like sweatshirt on and like
I think athletes are a different type of celebrity.
They are a different type of celebrity, but they're just like cool. I feel like the way he like, I tried not to stare at him for too long. I'm making it seem like I was like staring at him for like an hour. This was probably like 1 minute, but like just like the way he was just so normal, but like cool. I don't know. You would never think that unless you knew what he looked like, which I didn't until someone told me, like you would never think that it was like a celebrity. Like I don't know. They're just normal people.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was actually on Christmas Day, I went to the Eagles game and we were on the sidelines. My buddy had like a work thing.
My buddy. And you said that like an old man. My buddy, he took me down.
I do speak in old man terms sometimes. Anyway, I went to the Birds game with my buddy on Christmas. We were on the sidelines.
The Birds.
How am I supposed to say it?
It's funny.
I literally went to the Birds game with my buddy. What do you want me to say? We were on the sidelines and we were over by the Giants bench, so like naturally I wasn't too worried about talking to any of the players. There was a lot of Giants fans there.
She was just spitting on them.
It was like, you're going down. I kicked a couple of them, and then they dragged me out now. But I wasn't like super worried about it. And they started, as goes life in Philadelphia, started blasting Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. And I love Meek. Like, I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it's because he just gets me hyped up, but like everyone in my life knows that I love Meek. Like Kelly went to a World Series game that he was at last year and he was like, Meek's here. And I was like, throw my number on the field.
It was so random. Like the Phillies were about to like run out on the field and then you just see Meek Mill on a four-wheeler with like the Philly Fanatic. It was so like random.
What more could you want in life than Meek Mill and the Philly Fanatic? Like
I think he was singing. I forget.
He was, and I was so mad that anyway. Everyone knows I love Meek, and they started bumping Dreams and Nightmares. So naturally, it was hype as shit. Like being on the field at the link during warm-ups and Meek's being blasted, and I was like freaking out. I was like to my buddy, I was like, we gotta stop laughing at that. I was like, yo, tell me Meek's here right now. I was like, there are not a lot of things I would do to get kicked out of a stadium. stadium and not be allowed back in, but I'll run out on the field if Meek's here. And then they were like, oh my God, like, okay, maybe don't do that. Like, we're not trying to get kicked out. But it was just like so funny because there were so many people like being so hype about like the players they were, and it was, you know, not the main players that were like warming up. And it was the Giants, like, which Giants players am I worried about? But everyone was getting hype about the Giants players. And then I heard Meek playing from the heavens and I got so hyped.
Wow.
Yeah, anyway, so good Christmas. Meek wasn't there. I did think like he's at some like hype games, you know, bigger games. And I was like, it's Christmas Day. Why wouldn't Meek be at the Eagles game? I don't think he was. And if he was, I didn't see him when I was on the field there.
Imagine seeing Taylor Swift at an Eagles game or a football game in general. Like just seeing her.
I would probably pee myself.
I don't know what I would do. Crazy.
I'd probably pee my pants.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, what I was trying to get at with that story, athletes are a different type of celebrity, I feel.
Yeah, they are.
Like athletes, I'm just like, yeah, congrats. Like you got a fucking talent that I didn't get. Like go off. I'm here to support you. You know, win one for my city. But it would just be a different level if I saw Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do one more?
Yes. Here's a good one. Who are some humans in history who were female that you most wish had left more written records and, you know, more paper like who do you wish you knew more about from history, female-wise?
I've never thought about this.
Really?
Yes.
I think like, oh my God.
I don't know if I have one.
I feel like Princess Diana could have definitely left some notes on how to make the world a better place. I think Eunice Kennedy Shriver, she's the person who started Special Olympics. She changed the world. I think she could have left us some more notes on how to keep changing it. I definitely think Amelia Earhart had some drive that the rest of us could use, and I wish she had written more for us to read back on. Wow, I actually have a list of women.
It's not that I don't have women that I look up to. I've just never thought like, oh, there's a lack of information about this person.
I guess it's not a lack of information. It's like I would like to read pick their mind. Like Amelia Earhart, she was so driven. I wish that I could read a whole book on just how her thought processes work.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Same thing with like Eunice Kennedy Shriver. Like she started something that literally changes the world right now, like Special Olympics for so many lives. And it just would be interesting to think like you did this for people and you don't benefit from this. Like you changed lives.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just like, I'm not trying to make this my personality or sound corny, but like maybe that's just like the nurse in me. Like I just want to change lives. But yeah, there's just people like Princess Diana. she touched lives just by being like this like person who wanted to change how the throne worked or whatever. I don't fucking know. But
you wish you could know more.
I wish I could know more. Like I don't know. Like I feel like these people that had these hearts or these drives, I would love to like be able to hear in their own words like details of their thought processes.
I think I would pick Ruth Bader Ginsburg because
yes, absolutely.
I am just in awe of all the like content made about her.
Yes.
The movie On the Basis of Sex is one of the best movies I've ever watched. It's like Legally Blonde but real. Like it's so good. And I don't actually know if she has a biography, but I should read it if she does.
Yeah, the disclaimer about all the people that I just said, I don't know if there's biographies about them, and if there are, I'll read them. I'm finally starting to get into like true historical reading, but I would like a detailed autobiography. Like I wish that these people had left me their records.
Or a YouTube video.
Yeah, not other people's records of them.
Yeah. I feel that way about Holly Madison's book, Down the Rabbit Hole, so you can start with that about historic reading.
I've already started historic reading. Oh. But I can read that one.
You can mix it in.
Yeah.
Such a good book.
I'll add it to the list.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening. This episode was fun.
It was.
I liked how random it was. It could just go anywhere.
There is also an Ask Men page, so maybe you and Jimmy can do that one.
Oh, that's a good... Would it be different questions, though? I guess
this is what people ask women on Reddit. Okay. You'll do the one that's people are asking men.
Cute. Okay. Sounds good.
You can't give your take on them, though.
I know. I have to sit there in silence. I'll just read the questions, then he'll answer, and then I'll just...
a Jimmy episode.
I'll just not respond. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching our podcast and supporting us. Please share the podcast if you want. And if you're feeling generous, leave a 5-star review.
And even if you're not feeling generous, it'll take 2 seconds to just leave the 5-star review.
Just click the 5 stars. Like, what are you doing? You're so lazy. I'm sorry. No, yeah, please. Please, 5-star review. Shit. I didn't mean to insult you. That was out of character for me. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy 2024, baby.
Thanks for listening. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.